What is the very first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word dingbat? I'll tell you what I think about.
Let me read you some of this. To the world, you're a woman. To your husband, you're a housewife. To your child, you're a mother. But ask yourself, who am I to me?
Why should you ask yourself who you are to you when you can ask me who you are to me?
Who am I?
The dingbat.
Isn't that great? Well, the fact is, Archie Bunker was not the first person to use the word dingbat. You can trace that word all the way back to the early 1800s. And it came back into use in the early 1900s in typography. And the word dingbat was used to describe a special character outside of the alphabet. So when printers and typographers were setting text using lead type and lead letters, they were fashioning special characters and calling them dingbats. Well, now we're using the word in a similar fashion. It is assigned to a typographical use on the web, and a Dingbat font is a special kind of font. A Dingbat font is a font of images or graphics. Most fonts are fonts that are alphanumeric. So if we want to type in let's see here, let's just find one. We want to type the word hello and select a font, an alphanumeric font. Here's one called Alpha Slab, and we want that to appear in our video at 80 points. We probably want to make that a color we can see, right? And we probably want to make it even larger. Let's make it 200. So we can see it on our canvas. So that's the Alpha Slab 1 font using the letters HELLO, and that's what happens. A Dingbat font is a font that uses graphics. And let me show you an example of some of those here. Here are some Dingbat fonts over at dafont.com. This font contains nothing but eagles. Here's one that contains dogs. These are all animal fonts, all right? These are all animal fonts. If you type in, let me click on one of these. So a capital A will yield a stationary owl. A capital B will give you a flying owl. And dafont.com has, and many other places, you can Google and find all kinds of fonts, has all kinds of dingbats. They have, they have all kinds of shapes. They have nature fonts. And so when you download this font to your computer, you can create printed pieces and videos using these images. And I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do that with Easy Video Lab in just a minute. But just so you know, there are all kinds, you've got all kinds of TV, movies, and just every kind of font. Look at all these Disney. I'm not sure that I would use those kinds of trademarked images or Mickey Mouse. I'm not sure I would download that. I think to be on the safe side, I would stay with other kinds of graphics. These are kind of neat TVs. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to show you another kind of a dingbat that I have, which is kind of fun. And in the interest of creating videos and creating videos that get attention, one of the video genres that is most popular right now is in politics. I'm going to share a Trump dingbat font that you can use to create memes and viral videos if that's what you like to do. And so I'm going to do this in a way that whether you like Donald Trump or you don't like Donald Trump, you can take the lesson and create memes. I know from personal experience that these memes are very, very popular, and I personally have tens of millions of views on political videos, and that can be a fun thing to do. So here's our word hello. If we take that same word hello and we go to our fonts now. So I'm going to put the link below to the font so you can download it. I'm also going to show you, I also making a cheat sheet for you. So I have a font, and for every letter there is a different graphic. You can see for the letter A, we have this image. For the letter B, we have this 2 thumbs up. For the letter C, we have this picture. And I'm going to create a cheat sheet for you, and I'll put it below. I've also created PNG pictures of all of these images, and I'm going to share that with you also. So again, whether you like Donald Trump or you don't like Donald Trump, it doesn't matter how you feel. You know, if you want to work with videos, you know, this will be fine. So let me show you some of the things that's different about working with dingbats and stuff you can do with it. So here's the word hello. If I go down to my Trump typeface here, which is a dingbat, and you'll be able to see, you can see it's a dingbat typeface because you've got those images. If I change that and I apply the settings, now I've got the dingbat font loaded. You see there, I have my HELLO. Let me make that just a little bit bigger so you can see how that looks. You see? Quite interesting. So let's see what we can do with that. And of course, that's red. One of the neat things, what I want to do here, just for the heck of it, let me pick out just one. I'm going to take the H, and I'm going to work with one picture at a time here. All right. This particular font really needs to be goosed up to work with it much. In fact, I'm going to bring it up to about 2000. Whoever designed this didn't do the greatest. No, that's probably a little too, maybe 500. Let me see, 500? Nope, maybe 1,000. Let me bring it up a little bit more. It looks like that's about as much as I can do. Okay, that's fine. And you'll see, because I have the red set, that it appears red. So unlike pictures that contain just one color, you can make this any color you want. Just assign the settings. Right, I've got this in the Nothing Fancy font. All right, I can make it, let's see if I want to make that a little bit. Let's see what some of our text effects can accomplish here. So we have this in Nothing Fancy, so there's nothing much happening. I'm going to come back to Pepper Blast last because that's going to be the most fun. We have Glitch Pitch. This is an H, right? So we've got an H. I'm going to overwrite this. And let's see what happens here. Oh, the text here, the text is appearing as white. That's why it's not showing up. Good point. So here we go. I'm going to make this a little bit longer so that we can see the actual animation. I'm going to set that. All right. It's just kind of glitchy. See, just glitchy, glitchy, glitchy. All right, cool. If I want to look at Sprinkle Sonnet would be interesting. Let's see it. In the Sprinkle Sonnet, letters come in and they just converge. Right? So let's see what happens when I do that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I've got a bunch of letters there. We're going to stay with the chocolate color. I'm going to make this font size as large as I can, and let's see what happens with that. It's going to ask me to overwrite. And oh, that's quite interesting, isn't it? I've got 6 of these. I don't know why it's going so slowly. If I want it to go a little more quickly. Let's try this. Here we go. Let's try this. Here we go. And so there are 3. If I make this a little bit smaller, I think we'll get them all on. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So this is it might be a very, very interesting effect using another font. I would not necessarily use this effect ever with this particular font, but if I'm using symbols or animals or something else, then I might do that. Let me just go back and look at that again. That's kind of cool. Isn't that? Look at that. Whoa, okay. So that's our sprinkled sonnet. And dimensional jolt. Dimensional jolt is kind of neat. It's kind of a shadow-based animation. I'm just going to use one letter here, and I'm going to make it as large as possible. I'm going to stay with that chocolate-covered color. All right, so, okay, I don't think I like that. If I want to do something, let's see, if I want to make the shadow length shorter, maybe, let's see. If I don't have as much of a shadow length. Okay. Or if I just stay with a lighter gray. Let's see. Okay, well, you know what? That probably is not one that I would choose. Okay. Incidental pivot, no. Probably not. Segmented stanza, I don't think so. Magnetic message, boy, this looks interesting. Okay, so in this case, the messages, if we take a look here, the messages are word-based. So the words each come up in a different message. And so that means I need to create words. And that means I can't run the letters together. I need to put a space between them. So how about an A, a B, a C, D, E, F, G, H. So that constitutes a number of words with a text color. We'll reverse this. We're going to make this white text on a green background. And let's see what that does. And we'll make this maybe 40 points. We'll overwrite the existing animation. No, that does not work with magnetic message, so scratch that one. Okay, upended utterance. Will it work there? Oh, that's kind of interesting. So let's try that again, larger or smaller. Let's try something around 200. Oh, that could, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? So again, when you're working with dingbats, I think upended utterance is kind of a very neat type of thing you can do. You might want to create some kind of a header. Okay, so that has possibilities, right? If you're creating a video and you have a dingbat set and you would like to create something special, you can do that pretty easily using the font instead of having to work with an image. Let me pull an image in here just for the heck of it to show you how different that is. Let me pull an image. I'm going to go up, I'm going to create a new animation layer, and I'm going to add a new block right here. And let me add an image, and I'm going to add one of my Donald Trump images, one of my PNG files. Here's my folder. I have images again, A through Z. And I'll take the thumbs up image, and I will have him come in from the bottom. How about that? A little bit of a bounce. Let's see how that looks, and I'll leave him on the stage. Okay, so I'll bring him down here, make him a little bit larger. See, you're gonna have a couple of things to work with here, right? The political junkies in my tribe should have some fun with this. All right. And it doesn't matter. How about this? This is a video about Donald Trump that does not offend people on the right or people on the left or people in the middle. That has to be some kind of a record. Here we go. So I'm going to animate this. All right. There he pops up. Now you can you can create certain effects with this, and you can make it appear in and out, but it's black. Now, again, one of the main things about working with these dingbats, I'm going to click that on so I can work with this again, is that we can work with colors. We can use various different colors. We can assign different colors and change them in no time. And here's one. We'll do that. So this should give us 4. Right? Okay. Interesting. If I hit that again, I probably get another color. There's the black. If I hit it again, I get the red. If I hit it again, I get the yellow. So you get the point. That's how upended utterance works. It's kind of a random color selection. You pick the colors, but it applies them in an interesting way. I don't quite understand it. Okay, crazy boxes. I don't think it works for that. Bullet boxes. Does it work for bullet boxes? That's an interesting question. Let me see if we can work with bullet boxes. If I say A, B, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So that's like putting in 3 words, so that should come up in 3 different boxes. And I have a background, and I'm going to make the text yellow. No, make the text white. I'll make the background green. And I'll make the alternate text yellow. And then I'll make this middle word I'll take this middle word and I will apply my tilde lowercase a to create alternate text. Now, I don't know what this is going to do. I haven't done this yet. I am just figuring this out with you. So let's see what happens when we build bullet boxes with our... Okay, let's see. It looks like it works. It looks like it's rather slow. I'm going to be trying to speed it up a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, bullet boxes. I don't want to play with it anymore. That's not fun. I don't see anything happening there. ABC. All right, here we go. Convergent text. That is kind of a neat... I'm going to take off that grid and just let it center itself on the whole page. Here. I'll put it I'll put it over the image. Oh, what did I do? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay. So if I make this font size a little larger, that becomes something, whoa, yeah, that could definitely have some use with dingbats. Probably not this particular dingbat set, but with another set, I can see some really, really good possibilities using convergent text. Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. That was a really neat surprise. I like that. Whoa, I like that. All right. And then if we go to, let's see, followed phrase, put in some random numbers here. I'll just stay with the default settings. Oh, you know what? I keep knocking this out. One of the neat things about version 2 is that you don't have to position the stuff like that. You can just apply your text and then move it wherever you want. See what happens, every time I scroll over to this overwrite setting, I'm knocking it off, and it's a rather clumsy thing for me to do. So if I go here, that's better. I'm not touching it. Okay, yeah, you know what? That looks pretty neat too. So let me goose up the size on this one a little bit and see how that looks. This is the followed phrase text. Oh, shoot. What am I doing here? Look at this. I'm going to be really happy when version 2 comes out of beta. All right, here we go. Whoa. Let's look at that without the position grid. And you know, let's just look at that. In fact, let me take that down to one image or one letter. I'll make it just a little bit larger. And let's see what that looks like. Whoa, I like that. Ooh, I like that a lot. Cool, right? I want to see that again. Followed phrase. Oh, that is cool. Ah, I like it. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Codec swing. Huh. Okay, let's see if we can do that. So let's try a single. We're not going to make, okay, the sign is green, the font is white. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, I guess, what we have to do here is probably just pay attention to colors. If our sign is light, right? I'm going to make it a light color sign. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, that can work. That can definitely work. Okay, so we have another animation that will work with dingbats. Scrambled prose. Okay. We'll just put in some random text here. Apply that. Definitely want this to be larger, right? I'll make this larger so we can see what that looks like. That could be, whoa, that could be very interesting, couldn't it? Again, not necessarily for this particular dingbat, but that is very, very cool. I want to see that one more time. Wow. Yeah, maybe that could even work for this one. Okay. So scrambled prose. Ghostwriter? That's just a typing. I guess. I don't really see myself using that. But maybe. Okay. There's a ghostwriter. Our image keeps popping up. And then the last one is Crawl-O-Rama, which is moving from left to right and top to bottom. So for sure, if I go from right to left and I see what this looks like, this is, the font color is white and the background is black. Let's make this a little bit larger. Okay, so I can see some utility for that. Let me just get rid of that background color because that just puts me off. Hold on. Okay, definitely. I can definitely see some use to that. I can definitely see some use for that. All right, you know what? That's not bad either. So that is our little dingbat lesson for today. Our dingbat in... Oh, no, it isn't. Hold on. I left out my favorite one, and that is Pepper Blast. Now first what I want to do, okay, before I do this, I want to take out this picture, which I don't need. So I click that block and I hit delete block to get rid of that. And I don't need the image anymore. And I'm going to Pepper Blast. This is really the only text animation I played with at all. And I want to show you how this works. So let's do an A, and let's make this as big as we can and apply the settings. Whoops, I forgot to click the block. I have to click the animation block and then go to my Pepper Blast. I've got my A and I'm going to apply the settings. I'm going to overwrite that. Okay, and I'm going to extend this a little bit so that we get a better idea of what this looks like. Here we go. Now I'm going to also to position this down here. You know what? I'll just leave it. I'm going to leave it centered on the page. All right, so that's interesting. What if I put in the whole alphabet? This is kind of interesting. Watch what happens when I put in the alphabet. Now you'll see I inserted the letters with a space between them, and that space between them makes each letter a word. And when Pepper Blast is activated, what you see here is each word is blasted out at one time. If I put all of the letters together, it's going to constitute one word, and we'll have 26 pictures, and that would not work for anybody. So here it is, it's working with one word, and I'm going to choose a color scheme. I'm going to pick one of these color schemes. They're all pretty neat, just that. And I'm going to apply it, and let's see what happens. Okay, you know what I'm going to do before we do this? I'm going to make this shorter. See, I've got 26 words here, so it's a rather long Pepper Blast. It's a lot longer than what you would typically be creating when you're making a video. Usually when you're working with Pepper Blast, you've got a few words and you're moving on, but I'm doing something a little different here, so what the heck. I'll make it work quickly. It gives it a few seconds for each, and when you've got 26 pictures, it makes a very long video, so, or a very long animation. And I don't want it to be that long. So let's bring this down to a bit, down here. And I'll bring it down to about 30 seconds and see what that looks like. There's probably a much easier way to do this. All right, here we go. I'm going to hide the position grid because that's kind of ugly. All right, we're set at 600. All right, we're set at 600. Let's take a look. You see that? Isn't that cool? So those dingbats are coming on the stage one at a time. We're selecting, Easy Video Lab is selecting colors from the scheme we picked, and it is just going on and on. What you're going to find when you're working with dingbats is most of them are sized a little bit differently than this. This particular Trump set is sized very, very small, so it's hard to make them much larger. But again, this stage is 1080 by 1080. So that's kind of cool. But if you're doing a meme, if you're creating a meme, and you have a meme frame at the top and the bottom, you can create something pretty interesting with this. Put a little bit of a background behind it, some video or a picture or whatever, and your text above and below. I just think it's a very cool effect, and I'm having fun with dingbats today, so have a good day. All right, well, you probably now know more than you ever needed or wanted to know about dingbats and Trump dingbats. Don't forget, when you install the font, you have to shut down Easy Video Lab first. So if you say, oh, I'll do that now, and your Easy Video Lab is open, it's not going to work. So you've got to shut it down, install the font, and then open it again, launch it again, and then you'll be able to work with it. Okay, so have fun.